Good morning, team. Today we're going to talk through my weekly outlook, my weekly forecast. We're going to be looking at 4 different pairs or 3 different tradable pairs, and then obviously the DAXI to give us our confirmation bias, give us a bit of direction. It is Tuesday, the 19th of September. I typically don't trade Mondays, which is why I'm going to be dropping these forecasts on a Tuesday usually, so you can kind of see what I'm looking at for the rest of the week. I'll talk you through any trades that potentially I'm going to take today, and then also we can have a look at trades for the rest of the week and what our expectation is ultimately. So let's get stuck into it. First thing that I'll always do on all of my charts before I get started is just draw on our previous weekly highs and lows. So we've got that zone that's been taken now. I'm going to leave that on there for a little bit. This has now become, instead of a daily zone, it's now become a weekly zone. So let's mark that on. And then we've got another weekly zone, as you can see, weekly high there. Let's mark that on as well. All of this at the moment is untested, so it's valid liquidity that we want to be looking at for potential sells from, okay? Or buys if it's the lower end. On the daily time frame, again, similar things. So we've got this big bullish push up. We can clearly see that we're, bullish in price action. We've got a daily low there, which is untested. So let's mark that on. These are all areas that if price gets to, we could be looking at reversal trades from. Another daily level there, again, that's untested. And because we've got a daily level in line with this old level, just to tidy up the trade, I'm going to delete that, get that out of the way, and then it keeps our charts a little bit tidier. On the 4 hour, we can see that we are pulling back now. So we've had this big move up. We've got a news trap here from, I think it was Friday last week. So hopefully we're going to get some of that tested. And ideally with the current market structure, what we're looking at here, obviously we've had a big push down there. I would have really liked to see some, sweep into this imbalance. I think it was on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, imbalance there. I would have loved to see a sweep into that, but we didn't quite get it. For me, I'm not interested in trading unless we're at the extremes. So I'm going to wait and see what happens if we break this daily level. I'm going to wait and see what happens if we get to this level, and we'll go from there really. Nothing on the DXY for me just yet. Nothing that I'm particularly fussed about anyway. So it's just a case of kind of watching and waiting and seeing where we end up ultimately. Dropping down to EURUSD, very similar story. So first things first, let's draw on our highs and lows and tidy up our chart. So we've got that level there that was broken here, as you can see. Okay, so that level there has been broken, that major level now. We have also got a weekly level here and a weekly level here. So highs and lows have already been marked on. On this chart here, we've got our daily level. So we've got a daily range here, which again has left imbalances, traps, that sort of thing. So we're going to be paying attention to that. Let's mark on the most recent daily low and the most recent daily high. Okay, and then we're just watching and waiting really and seeing what price does in this area. Took a nice trade on this on Friday, which we got our profits out on. We could have held it a little bit longer. I was happy to take my profit out. We did about 3.5% on that trade, so I'm pretty happy with that ultimately. And again, we are approaching this daily level here. So we're just waiting to see what happens when we get to this level. Ideally, we'd really like to get into this trap zone if we can, and get some profits out there. Now, this supply zone here has been tested. So this entire move up is our supply. I've marked it on so you can clearly see what we're looking at. Okay, this entire move here is our supply. And as you can see, prices come back into it now. So now ultimately inside this zone, we are only looking for shorts. We might be able to get a really nice tight buy up into it, but it's not a trade I'm going to be rushing to. Price has become efficient, as you can see from here, marked on with these lines here. So until price retests this zone, it is inefficient. Now it has retested the zone, it is now efficient price action. So ultimately what we're doing is we're just waiting to see if we can get a sell setup in here, and that goes quite in line with our DXY trading as well. If we draw on our DXY zone, we are here to here. That's our entire supply. This is the supply that you can see. This supply here, this entire area, this entire push down, it would have been maybe one candle on a higher time frame, has created this move up. As we pushed out of there, we became inefficient. So we're looking now for price action to come back in and test this area. Oh, not imbalance. To test this area, which we have done. Just really a simple case now of waiting and seeing what happens in this area. Not the greatest of pushes out there, but it was quite a messy pullback. But this is now efficient, so ultimately buys from out of here would be a great shout. Now, Euro JPY, a little bit cleaner on the chart. Let's have a look what we've got here. So let's draw on our weekly high and low. Let's get that in first. Weekly high. Sorry, weekly low, weekly high. Let's get our daily on as well. Let's see what we've got most recently. So we've got a couple of key ones down here I'm going to mark on. That's a daily level. I've got another one up here. I'm going to mark that on. That's a daily level. And then let's have a look at the most recent ones. So yesterday's daily high has now been blown. Mark that on as red. So we could be setting up to go short on this chart here, as you can see. We've got daily level there as well, which is untested at the moment. And that's our liquidity points. So on the basis that we have now swept this area, if I mark on this entire area on the 4-hour time frame, we have also regained efficiency, as you can see. That now has been tested. That supply zone, trap zone, whatever you want to look at it, has been tested. So this is now a good location we could be looking at sells from. I would have really liked this push down to break some of those lows, and this could indicate a further push up. If we just look at the tighter time frame, we are quite bullish in nature. So it's not maybe the best of setups, but if we get a sell setup in here, something like, let's have a quick look, see if we've got anything on here. What I probably want to see is for price to sweep this zone here and then give us some sort of reversal and then aim for these liquidity points. So this being a news wick, I'm not in a rush to take a trade off this. Ultimately, what I'd be looking for this to be is to be swept either up here, either up here. Doesn't really matter. I wouldn't be looking for a trade like this, where we create, you know, bearish price action, and then there's no major liquidity here being taken. What's more likely to happen is you get a false move. So we get a push up, push down, push up, push down, break a structure, trap in early sellers, and then a sweep, and then our big setup, and then a push down. So I'd be clearly looking for a fake break of structure here, so a push down, which indicates to smart money traders that we're going to be going short, and then ultimately faking that move out, giving us another push down. That would be a really, really key thing for me to be watching. I'll move this across to the side, so we'll keep an eye on it for the rest of the week, and we'll go from there. Last but by no means least, my favorite pair. I've put this back in my list. I love this pair. Me and one of the traders in my group, Keem, been trading this religiously for a long time. I cut it out of my trading recently, and I'll be honest, I missed it. So I've got it back in. Let's mark on our weekly highs and lows. Weekly high and low in. Let's mark on our daily highs and lows, and any significant ones. So we've got a daily one there. That's significant. Because it's in a premium version of the range and its liquidity sat below a weekly area, so that's why that's significant. We've got the most recent one there, and we might have just tagged yesterday's as well. Now, Monday's daily highs and lows aren't the best of liquidity areas. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not areas that we're saying, oh, we have to tag these and we have to trade off them. But it is something that we keep an eye on at least. And as you can see, it has held price quite well. It has acted as support. Ultimately, we've had a bit of a sweep. You know, you might have even got quite a nice trade out of that. Yeah. So sweep of yesterday's daily high, push down in Asia, push up, clear its liquidity, and then a really clear move down. What am I expecting on Euro AUD at the moment? We've got news coming for the for the euro in about an hour's time. So nothing really right now. What personally I'm looking for is a buy into this trap area, and I'll tell you why. We are inefficient in price at the moment, even if you go back all the way here, okay? What we do to draw out our efficiency is we'll look at the last move up to the last move down that broke structure. So that's been all cleared out. That's all completed. You don't need to worry about that. Then the next move up, you can see it a little bit clearer here. Next move up that created the next break of structure. That's that there. We take the low to the high and we draw out our inefficiency zone. This price action right now is inefficient, okay? There is a gap here, and that gap needs to be filled for us to warrant sells down. Doesn't have to be, but it should be for us to get into a high probability trade. So we've marked on this area. I'm pretty happy to take that to there. That's our entire supply zone there. And ultimately what we're waiting for this to happen is we're waiting for this to be tagged into, which is why ultimately I am looking at a buy position potentially. if we get some sort of sweep of this and then a push up, push up, push down, push up, something like that, I'll be more than happy to take that trade into that area. And yeah, let's see what we get. Now, if you found some value in this content, in this video today, let me know in the comments what you're trading this week and what you've got on watch. It'd be great to catch up with you all. As always, you're welcome to check me out on Instagram at StrongMoneyForex. I've got a free Discord group over in Discord as well. So if you pop me a message on Instagram, I can get to know you as a little bit more as a trader, and I think you'd be a right fit. And then we'll get you in the Discord group and welcome to the team. It's a completely free mentorship. I offer all my education, all of my training, all of my learning completely for free. So make sure you come over and check it out, and I'll catch you in the next drop. Cheers.